Hello, my name is Safi and I'm a student at Safi New Hampshire University Paper Program. In this video, I'm going to discussing different big stories, whether or not they have met each of the criteria on the credibility and validity grid by also checking whether they passed the Invanian test. So, the first story picked is about Apple announcing iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, the biggest advancement in iPhone history. So, starting by credibility of these news sources. So, conclusion from the analysis show that the new source isn't credible. This is because they have been trying to show information from one side while hiding information from the other side. This the story has been made in a way of marketing by providing information from the product without providing information from users. It shows the self-interest on the topic being described here. So moving forward about evidence. The news source don't have any evidence. In fact, the entire article is made by one person without any testimony or other people talking about it. So moving forward about the verification with assertion. The source doesn't verify information in the story. There is no evidence from other users or other writer. The writer here is the only story provider without other sources of helpers verify the news. So moving forward about authoritative is informed source. The writer has shown expertise and knowledge about the subject. He has been showing the component and the future of the iPhone in the article. He has shown the price, composition, camera, and other. So moving forward about multiple with single sources. There is no other source that have been used in a way of avoiding the bias in this article. The writer talks only about iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus without providing other sources that talk about the same topic. There is no testimony from end users that has been shown. So moving forward about named with unnamed sources. The only name from this article is Apple Press Information. It seems to be a branch of the company in charge of the company's update. It doesn't provide much information about itself. It is hard to mention that the source is named. So moving forward about the second pick, the story is about Chicago Tribune. Authorities start investigation of unnamed supply locked explosion. So starting by credibility of the news sources. So based on the previous analysis that have been made on the independent with self-interest, multiple sources with one verified with asset, authoritative and informed, named and unnamed. I can say that the result confirms the article to be credible based on this analysis. My opinion is that the story is credible. So moving forward about evidence. So the evidence has been shown in the article where the writer showed even picture and video about the topic. So moving forward about verification and this assertion. The story being narrated here is true since it has more evidence and testimonies. The story has a true video that shows how the situation went, but also it has people who felt the situation in the area of the scene. So moving forward about the authoritative with informed sources. The source in the article demonstrate expertise and knowledge about the subject matter. This is because the writer has been trying to show the component of the rocket, the expenses made on making it, next plan and schedule in launching another rocket, and also the story behind the same subject. So, moving forward about multiple and these single sources. The article has multiple sources of information. The writer has been able to cite other sources such as Shirley Lapole, the Assistant Education Coordinator at the NSA Visitor Center, NSA itself, Frank Carbettson, Orbital CEO David Thompson, and others. Through the True, he hasn't been able to use some other sources from expertise company. He tried to he tried at least to show what other people said about the case. So moving forward about name named and unnamed sources. The source is named. It has been written by Tribune Wire reports. This is a staff and wire reports that is curated by Chicago Tribune editors and producers. So moving forward about the third picked story is about one Boston bombing suspect dead. Massive manhunt for second the White Hat. So starting by credibility of the news sources. In my opinion, the story is credible. This is because it has been using different sources that talked about the same case, and it has the expertise in it. So moving forward about the evidence. So the source has provided pictures, policy intervention. It has also been citing other people who talked about the same issue, especially authorities. So moving forward about verification vs assertion. So the verification confirmation is the story can be seen the testimonies and the argument provided by other authorities in the case. With all the citations provided, the news is identified as verified. So moving forward about authoritative and informed sources, there is kind of expertise in the source. In fact, it has been produced by a known and experienced company in a new production SBS News. In the body of the article, the writer has tried to tackle each area that can interest the reader. He showed the victims of the attack, realized the victims' origin of authors, their current nationality, and others. With this demonstrated, it is crucial to mention that the story demonstrated expertise. So moving forward about multiple vs single sources. So the writer has been showing different sources of the same case and cited other people who talked about the case. For example, the national security correspondent Bob All, Boston Police Commissioner Edward Davis, Colonel Timothy Arben of the Massachusetts State Police, and others. So moving forward about named and unnamed sources. The source is named. It has been produced by CBS News. This is a news and information division of CBS Corporation that is in charge of providing the highest quality journalism. Thank you for watching this video. I think by using the criteria that I have been using to analyze the source of news, you will also be able to identify the credibility of each news that you will read.